Hello all, in today's video, we'll look into a very important subtopic of graph, which is spanning tree. We'll see why do we need spanning tree and what is the difference between a graph and a spanning tree, and then eventually we'll look into another important topic, which is minimum spanning trees. So stay tuned with me and follow me for the other videos.
Say you are given a graph which is represented by G, V, E, where V is the number of vertices and E is the number of edges. Then a spanning tree will be represented by G dash, V dash and E dash, where V dash will be equal to V, that is the spanning tree will have equal number of vertices as the graph, but E dash will be less than E. It will be a subset of E. Okay, and also E dash equals to number of vertices minus 1. Okay, so this is the definition of spanning trees. Now let's see what do we actually mean by this. Say for example, you have a graph like this. Okay. Now if this graph is presented by G, V, E, then it will be represented as V is number of vertices, so it is 5, and number of edges we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and number of edges is also 5. Now if we want to make a spanning tree of this, see, now what does spanning tree say? That the spanning tree will have equal number of edges, equal number of vertices as that in the graph. Correct? But number of edges will be less in the spanning tree as compared to the graph. So, say this is my spanning tree. Okay. So can this be called as a spanning tree? What does spanning tree say? That number of vertices will be equal. So if this is G dash, then number of vertices 5 is correct. But how many edges now we have? We have 4 edges. So if this is G dash, then this is a spanning tree of G. Okay. Now the question arises, can we have more such spanning trees? Yes, definitely we can have more such spanning trees. This is one of the spanning tree. There can be another spanning tree. If this is G double dash, then this is also 5, 4. And what condition we had? That number of edges will be number of vertices minus 1. So it is being satisfied here. You can see in both these conditions. Let's say I am making another spanning tree. Okay. And let us represent this by G triple dash. This is also again number of vertices is 5 and number of edges is 4. So is this also a spanning tree of this particular graph? Yes. This is also a spanning tree. This is also a spanning tree. This is also spanning tree of G, of the given graph G. So from this we can say that there can be multiple possible spanning trees of the same graph G. Of the same graph G. This is correct. So in other words, we can simply say that spanning tree is a subset of any graph G such that all the vertices, see, the number of vertices are same in graph and in its spanning tree. So we will say that all the vertices are connected using minimum number of edges. Okay. And now if say the graph is a weighted one, say this is the graph that we saw. Now say for example, we are keeping some weights associated with the edges. Then we will call it a weighted graph, correct? So there can be different spanning trees corresponding to the same graph. We have seen it here. Now what is one of the spanning tree? Say this is the first spanning tree that I drew for you, correct? What is the cost of this spanning tree? We are writing down the weights associated with the edges. So this is 5 plus 4 9 plus 5 14 plus 3 17. So cost, if this is G dash, then cost of G dash here is 17, correct? Now say I create the other spanning tree here, which is like this. Okay. So now what is the, and this is G double dash. So what is the cost of G double dash here? 1 plus 3 4 plus 5 9 plus 4 13. So similarly we can have a different spanning tree also. Say I have a spanning tree like this, as I drew earlier, connected to 4, this is connected to 3. Okay. So now what will be the associated weights? Let's write them down. So if this is G triple dash, then what is the cost of G triple dash? If you do a sum, 6 plus 3 9 plus 5 14. So you can see that this particular spanning tree has the minimum cost. See, you have to find out all these spanning trees and then amongst them the spanning tree that has the least cost. So spanning tree with the least cost is called minimum spanning tree, abbreviated often as MST. Now see, the first method to find the MST is that you draw out all the spanning trees. You find out all the possible spanning trees of a graph and the associated costs and their associated costs. And then you say the spanning tree with the least cost is the MST. But see, in this example, the graph is only of 5 edges. I could have drawn few more possible spanning trees and shown you. But say if you have a very dense graph, there are say around 50 nodes, okay, 50 vertices, and there are many edges. It is a dense one. So say nearly all the nodes are connected to all the other vertices. Then in that case, manually doing this, that finding out all the spanning trees and then finding out the spanning tree with the least cost, the MST, is going to be time consuming. So for that we have 2 algorithms to find out the minimum spanning tree that lessens our work. So the first algorithm is known as Prim's algorithm and the second is known as Kruskal's algorithm. We will see about these 2 algorithms in detail in the following lectures. Thank you. Now let's look at some of the properties of minimum spanning tree. Now as we have seen about spanning trees and minimum spanning trees, you must have understood that when we are saying about number of vertices are same in graph and in its spanning tree, or in, and for that fact also in the minimum spanning tree, then it must not be disconnected. I'll just give you an example for this. See, this is the example that I was using till now. Okay, now this is your graph G. Now when you create a spanning tree corresponding to this, I say that the number of vertices must be equal. Correct? So we can make a spanning tree like this. It has equal number of vertices. G and G dash has equal number of vertices, but all the vertices are connected. And also we have another condition that number of edges is v minus 1. So number of edges is 4. Say if we remove this particular edge, then this vertex becomes disconnected from the rest of the graph. Correct? So this becomes disconnected from the rest of the graph. So this is not allowed in minimum spanning tree. Just to have the minimum cost, we cannot make the graph disconnected. All the components that are there in the original graph, all the vertices should be present in the minimum spanning tree, and all must be connected. Okay. Next it says that it should not contain any cycle. Now see, I am saying you that this is the spanning tree. Correct? Now if this is the spanning tree, correct? Now if you add this vertex, this edge, then this becomes a cycle. Isn't it becoming a cycle? Yes. So such cycles are not allowed. See, if it becomes a cycle, then it won't be a minimum spanning tree. This must be clear to you by now. Next property says that number of edges equals to number of vertices minus 1. We have already talked about this property. So these three properties we have looked into. Now what does it say? That removing any one edge from the spanning tree. So see, this is my current spanning tree. So it says removing any one edge from the spanning tree will make it disconnected. This is also true. As I told you that if we remove this particular edge, it becomes a disconnected graph, because this particular node, this particular vertex, this particular element of the graph is disconnected from the rest of the graph. So if you see, this is one edge, this is another edge, this is the third, and this is the fourth edge. Any one edge you remove, the graph is going to become disconnected. Next it says adding one edge to the spanning tree will create a loop. So say I add any one edge. If you add this edge, then also it's going to create a loop. This is the whole cycle. Correct? This is the whole cycle. This is a loop. It becomes a loop. Correct? Now if you add this particular edge, then this much is my loop. Okay, so once you have formed a spanning tree, it must be like that in a way, it must be such that adding any one edge creates a loop in the spanning tree. Okay, then the next property says if each edge has a distinct weight, then there will be a unique spanning tree, unique minimum spanning tree. So if there are edge weights here, something like this, and every edge in the graph, see this is the graph, so every edge has a distinct weight, has different weights. This is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. Then there has to be a unique minimum spanning tree. See, there can be multiple spanning trees, but there will be only one with the least cost of the spanning tree, and that particular spanning tree will be your minimum spanning tree. I hope these properties are clear to you. In the next video, we'll look into the different types of algorithms to obtain a minimum spanning tree from a given graph. Thank you.